I'm Biliana, and today we're going to be talking about the apprenticeship programs that we offer at Capgemini. I'm joined by Jess, Chloe, Jasmine, and Izzy. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we'll get right into it. So, Jess, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Jess. I'm one of the apprenticeship program managers at Capgemini, and great to be here today.
Perfect.
Hi everyone, I'm Chloe. I'm also one of the apprenticeship program managers, and I look after all of our degree apprentices.
Lovely. Jazz?
I'm Jasmine, and I am in recruitment marketing and employer branding for Capgemini UK.
Thank you. And Izzy?
I'm Izzy. I'm a solution architect at Capgemini, but I've completed my bachelor's degree apprenticeships and my level 6, and I'm now moving on to do my level 7 master's apprenticeship with Capgemini.
Perfect. So I'm really excited. We've got two ladies who know all about the programs,
Is that right?
and then two ladies who have a lot of experience, so a lot of information to go around. I think I want to start with the pathways into the company. So I think I'm directing it to you guys. Can you tell us a bit more about the pathways in?
Yeah, sure. So I guess the first thing really to notice is there's something for everybody. So we have various different pathways depending on experience, level of education, coming in at, let's say, a level 3, for example, and working your way up like Izzy to that level 7. So there's definitely something for everybody.
Yeah, sure. So like Jess said, there's lots of different pathways into it. So not just the different levels, but we also have a huge variety. I think it's something that people often think is we just do tech programs, but that's really not the case. So obviously our main kind of programs are tech-based, but we also do apprenticeships in HR, in marketing, in business,
Cyber,
finance, literally everything. So if people want to do an apprenticeship, chances are we've got something for them, which is something we're really proud of, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think from our point of view, we're always looking to keep expanding. So when the business come to us and they want to add new programs, we're always looking at what kind of value can we add to Capgemini apprenticeships, what areas can we bring in that we maybe haven't done before.
Sounds good. Can I just get you two to tell us which apprenticeships you did and what level as well?
Yeah, so I did the level 3 digital marketing apprenticeship with Multiverse.
Perfect.
So I did the level 6 digital and technology solutions specialising in software engineering, and I'm now completing my level 7, which is my master's in digital and technology solutions specialising in enterprise architecture.
Okay, how long were those? Do they differ in lengths? Okay.
Yeah, so mine was around 15 months. It all depends on the last few steps of your apprenticeship, so it can vary around 15 months.
So my level 6 was 4.5 years, and I graduated from that last year, and my level 7 is around 2.5 years, but there's some flexibility with that in terms of like an endpoint assessment.
Yeah, so I think it's probably a really good thing to say that actually all of our programs have different levels. So your shortest one I think is about 12 months with your endpoint assessment at the end. So like Jasmine said, add a couple of months on, right up to our longest one, which is currently 5 years with the endpoint assessment, and everything in between depending on what you're doing. So yeah, there's a lot of different timescales for people that are joining the business.
And I guess if you choose to progress on to another program, then that extends that duration, like we may have today. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So if you've done the level 3 and then you want to move on to level 4, you can.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah. Everyone's got a choice, guys. So just for the people that don't know, what do the different levels equate to?
Okay, so for example, a level 3 would be typically somebody that's just come out of school, maybe done their GCSEs with very little experience, it's probably safe to say. And then if we look at the level 4, that's potentially someone that has a little bit of experience, but also potentially has done an apprenticeship before. So let's say they started on that level 3 and progressed to that level 4, but also with A levels. So that's generally across the board what we'd be looking for.
Yeah, and then the level 5's up to the level 7. So level 5 is your very beginner like bachelor's degree. So that's kind of where you sit. If you equate it to like a year 2 of a bachelor's degree, it's where your level 5 sits. Your level 6 is your finishing, so that's your complete degree. And then your level 7 is equivalent to a master's. So.
Perfect. Okay. So I know we touched on it briefly before, but as I said, you guys have a lot of experience, and progression is a big thing at Capgemini and the apprentices community. So can you bring that to life for us? How have you progressed?
So I started with Capgemini back in 2016, which both feels like a million years ago and also still like yesterday. So since then, I've received 5 promotions and changed roles multiple times. So I went from a software engineer to a software engineer lead, and I'm now a solution architect, which was my dream role from within my first year. I saw some solution architects. I was like, I'm going to be in your role one day. So it's amazing that I've reached that point and I've been able to move areas because it's a little bit different to how I started. I've had that flexibility. I've had that support by the community, by everyone within the apprentice and graduate community. I've had so much support to build on that and to build myself and to take part in so many different opportunities that have led me to be in my dream career, really. So the progression opportunities, the things you're able to do are just incredible, and I honestly couldn't be more thankful for the chances that I've had here.
That sounds like an amazing journey that you've had. How about you, Jazz?
So I actually had a couple years after A-levels where I was working within other digital marketing roles. So I was building up my experience, and then when I came to Capgemini, I went on to the level 3 digital marketing program, apprenticeship, and it was sort of like a refresher for, you know, all of the previous skills that I'd learnt through my A-levels and GCSEs up until when I joined Capgemini. So it was nice to just kind of get build on existing knowledge and expand on my existing knowledge. And then I actually received my promotion before my apprenticeship ended as well, which was a good achievement for me. But yeah, it's been really good here so far, and I'm excited to progress for the future.
I think something that's really exciting about apprenticeships at Capgemini is actually seeing where our apprentices go to, and it's really nice now that a lot of the what we call business leads, so people that like myself and Jess deal with on a daily basis, lots of them have been apprentices, or they've kind of started at the bottom and worked their way all the way up, and it's really exciting to kind of look at our new apprentices coming in and being like, that could be you one day, and there's absolutely no reason why they couldn't take those real senior leads just because they've been apprentices. It's really, really exciting.
Yeah.
And that's such a huge motivation for so many apprentices that I joined with, is to be able to see and hear, like we have a lot of VPs who were apprentices at some point or another, whether it be at Capgemini or elsewhere, but the fact that you can hear them say that they started their journey with an apprenticeship, it fills you so much motivation that, you know, you might end up there one day, and it's great to be as well those apprentices potentially one day that people are looking up to, that come in and you see and you speak at their induction and they think, oh wow, like I could do that in 6 or 7 years, that could be me. Yeah.
We definitely had some apprentices at the last induction looking up at Izzy being like, oh, I could be here one day, and it was really cute. No, it's just so sweet to kind of see, like you say, just everyone working their way up the paths, and also knowing that like our senior leadership team are such advocates for apprentices because they've been there or they've worked with them. It is great.
And I think that then creates that community that we all have seen and been a part of, and is actually growing as well. So I think that's just something that we really should be selling as well.
Lots of success stories, lots of
Definitely.
lots of progression. But progression wouldn't be possible without the support that you guys give. So can we? So can we maybe touch on that? How do you support the apprentices? Do they come to you? Do you come to them? Is it like a two-way thing?
Oh gosh, we speak to apprentices all day, every day. Yeah,
we love apprentices.
We do. It's the favourite part. My favourite part of my job is speaking to apprentices. It's the best thing that I do, which is amazing. I think we probably, like, if we take it right back to the beginning of the apprenticeship journey, I guess our support kicks in at induction.
Absolutely.
We get them on day one of their kind of journey with Capgemini, and it's really lovely to see them all come in and be like nervous, and they've never worked in a corporate world before, so we're there to really hold their hand and make them feel comfortable in a corporate world, and we have them for a week, and we see them grow through the week, which
definitely.
is
Confidence definitely grows from that first day that they step foot in induction and don't know anybody. The confidence grows, but as does their relationships that they build along that way as well, and that can be from day 1 to day 3, and the difference within those days is dramatic, actually, isn't it?
So I'm still best friends to this day with people that I met on day 1 of my induction.
Wow.
The community that we've built, we still see each other all the time. We've been on holidays, like we're planning more meetups this year, and that you make, it sounds incredibly cheesy, but you do make friends for life because you've been through it all together, and it's to some degree a very unique experience. You're working full time, you're potentially traveling a lot depending on the project that you're on. You might be living out of hotels a lot, but when you have people that live a similar life to you, when you do meet them, the amount you can relate and support each other as well. The support the team give you is absolutely brilliant, but the support from new apprentices on your degree with you, I couldn't have gotten through it without knowing that they were there with me. So the apprenticeship community is honestly one of my favourite part, and remains to be my favourite part of doing it, is because you build so many incredible connections that you will have for life.
Yeah,
Right.
we've got one of our apprentices at the moment, and I think someone that she'd gone on induction with ended up being her best man at the wedding, which I just love that. I love that as a story. Like, they've started at the very beginning and they just to this day are still best friends, and that just really warms us that we've kind of managed to foster that relationship. It's lovely.
Yeah.
So
I love that, yeah. I mean, me and her are exactly like that, because we met through obviously work and the apprenticeship, and now we're like besties. So I definitely get it. Induction then, what does that look like? Because mine was like 3 years ago.
So I think
Mine was
induction.
like 7 years ago.
So induction will have
Has
changed an
changed.
awful lot. I think we're very fortunate with our team to have a very new team. I don't think anyone that's been with Capgemini for more than over a year will have seen the kind of same team, and it's really exciting. It gives us a real opportunity to come in and put a brand new spin on things, and to really give our apprentices the best possible experience. So to answer your question, we think that induction is a week of fun. I don't know whether the apprentices will tell you that. They're probably really scared when they first come in, but hopefully it's a week of team building activities and getting to know what their job role is going to look like, getting to know their people that they're going to be with.
Yeah.
Getting things like kit set up and
Kit day.
Kit day. Everyone seems to love Kit day.
A Tuesday afternoon
Crazy day.
is the best day.
And I think we do aim to teach a little bit about Capgemini, but not go into too much detail that they're gonna forget what we've told them. So I think it's more of the overall experience that
Like
we give,
values.
and values, and building their own brands, and being a part of this journey with others, and how that can develop, and learning from others, for example, on a panel, and learning from the likes of Jazz and Izzy about their experience on their program, and really showing that the opportunities that are out there is really a huge part of the induction as well.
A core memory from my induction, speaking of the 7 values, we had to write a rap. So I still have the video to this day of me and some new apprentices rapping Capgemini 7 values. It was, and that's how much fun it can be. And that was 7 years ago. And having come and spoken at recent inductions, it's only gotten better. And you can just tell that instantly in that room that there's such a community, and how excited they all are as well.
But I think it's important to note that if any future apprentices are listening, we will not be making you rap. Please don't panic. No, that'll come later on in your apprenticeship.
Yeah.
We can't, after you've left us for induction, that's not our problem.
That's a team building exercise.
So you guys mentioned Kit Day, but for those who are listening and watching who have no idea what it is, can you explain what Kit Day is?
Okay, so Kit Day is the day everyone's been waiting for. Essentially, it's where you get your laptops are there for you. You've got your logins, your water bottle, your bits and bobs that you basically need to get started on the following days post induction. So yeah, for us it can be a little bit of chaos. We're not going to lie in that space, but it's definitely something that we all work towards, and definitely once we've hit that mark, we're good to go. So I'm not sure anyone in the room today of what.
I just thought I'd say that I've never actually seen a group of people so excited to get notebooks and coffee cups. It's one of those things that for some reason everyone's just, I can get the laptops, that makes a lot of sense, but the excitement of people like unwrapping pens and all sorts, and they just love it.
Do you know what? I love the water bottles.
Everyone loves the water bottles. I'm trying to get another one.
So on the notebook front as well, my Capgemini notebook, when I still to this day, if I have apprentice friends round or a party and there's apprentices there, I get them all to sign my Capgemini notebook
that's a good idea.
and write a note. So depending on how much you've had to drink, sometimes the notes are unreadable, but it's so amazing. It's like my Capgemini journey starts today, and it's got all my friends have signed it and written notes as they've been at my house over the last 7 years, and it's still going. I'll go until it's full probably, but that's also what Kit Day means to you as well. It's the start of I have a laptop, I
Yeah.
have an email, I can message people on Teams. It's
Yeah.
it's something that now seems a bit trivial, but on the day is
because
so
I think
exciting.
if people listening aren't, they're kind of like, oh, I'm not really sure about, like, not that bothered about getting a laptop. I don't know, I think it really like sets off your career.
Yeah.
You really feel like you're part of the company when you open it up and it's got all your login details on there and you get like your ID badges and things like that. I think it makes people really feel like part of the company.
It feels real.
Yeah.
And that's when it becomes like,
I actually work
I'm
here.
here. I'm at Capgemini.
I am Capgemini.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess I don't know your experience of Kit Day and how it happens when you joined us is any different to what we've just experienced?
So I joined in 2021, so that's when kit would be sent to your
Okay.
house, to your address. So when I received my kit, I opened it all up and I was like, there's so much stuff here. I remember I got a little plant. I don't know if Capgemini do it anymore, but you send a little plant and it comes in a little plant pot and then you have your own little plant that grows and it's like soil and you water it and it's really cute.
I want a
I
Capgemini.
want
that.
It was really
cute.
one of these.
It was really cute. And then as well, like, of course they do the kit in the office now, but back then I was at home and they still provided so much support when I received my laptop from day one. Straight away you're provided with all the numbers that you need, so in case you have any IT problems, you have the IT support number, you have all of these numbers that are given to you from day one. But yeah, I feel like the two, you know, getting your kit in office and getting it at home would be so similar just because of all the support that's around you constantly. So
Yeah. I remember Kit Day actually in my induction because I think I was on one of the last ones that was in person, and it was so funny because the kit was like, we went for lunch and then we came back and there was all this kit on the desk ready, and I kind of looked and I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. So yeah, I loved Kit Day.
I think there's little things like setting up Outlook signatures. People seem to
Yeah.
look at it like, I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and to us
So
that's so like, I don't know, just so non-exciting. But then you get a group of apprentices in and they've never had an Outlook signature before, and it's the most exciting thing they've ever done. So
I think as well, it's especially if you've come into the apprenticeship from, I was 19 when I just turned 19 when I joined. So having like a professional email, I was like, the first thing I wanted to do was just email my dad.
yeah, I think I did the same thing.
Capgemini.com. I was so excited. And I think the other thing is, I don't know whether it's still done now, but we all used to get the same rucksack or the same laptop bag. And I still have it. I don't use it.
I've
but
brought
I
mine
will
today.
not throw it away. It's in my memory cupboard. Like, no, that's my backpack. I'm not throwing it away. It's going to live in my cupboard for the rest of my life.
There's some memories there, isn't
Yeah.
It was so funny because when we had to do the out of office bit, I was 19. I was fresh out of school. I had no idea what a corporate work was like, and I had to go and ask the person at my induction, what do I write? I don't know what to write. I kind of just giggled and he was like, write something funny. Okay. But it was so funny. I loved it. I love Kit Day. So it's great to know that there's a lot of support around you at Capgemini, but there's also that feeling of being valued and appreciated. Do you want to just talk a bit about that, Izzy?
So over the last 7 years, I have felt so incredibly valued by Capgemini, and not just because I've received promotions, but to go for a promotion you have to be supported. I mean, you literally have to have supporters a lot of the time to put you forward for them. Your reviewer or your manager has to recommend you for it. So it's not just, I want to be promoted, promote me. It's people around you have to believe in you, and to know that for the last 7 years I've had so many people believing in my career, giving me those opportunities and that chance to be promoted is the best feeling. And I think it keeps you going when times are tough, especially during apprenticeship. You are juggling a lot of things. To know that you have that support and that value by people around you to push and motivate you helps so much. And as well as going back, I had people that were a year or 2 years or 3 years ahead of me when I joined, to see their progression and to see how much they'd been supported and how many promotions they had. It's huge motivation for you to put your name out there around Capgemini, to really build your network so that when your time comes that you have that support and you have people that are like, 100% you should be promoted because of this.
And I think something else is that you don't just have one person supporting you, or you don't have like just the apprentices. You've got your reviewers, your line managers, your business leads, you've got our team, you've got your apprentices, your lecturers. Any number of people are there to really just champion you and kind of make you feel really looked after in the business.
Yeah, and a lot of going for promotion is feedback. So you get feedback throughout the year and request feedback from people, and even just that, a little note from someone to say, you did great at this, or thank you for helping me with this. It's just, no matter how small. In fact, some feedback from an apprentice that I helped on a course about public speaking. They were very, very nervous, and having their feedback in my most recent promotion case was actually really, really important, because it showed it's not just my managers or people that lead my team that are supportive and that I'm helping. It's the apprentices as well, and it's seeing what you bring to that community, and honestly, it makes you feel pretty good.
And sometimes you don't even have to ask. Sometimes they just pay you
Yeah,
and
you
do
just
it.
get it. It's like, start writing your promotion case. And it's like, oh my God, okay, I'll start. And
Absolutely.
that blank piece of paper is terrifying.
Yeah. So you mentioned something there that a lot of students who are interested in apprenticeship ask about, which is that balance, that managing your time, managing the apprenticeship, the day-to-day work, the social life.
Yeah.
How did you guys find it? Because I'll be honest and say in the beginning, I was rubbish. And then I learned, and then I've learned. So how did you find it?
I think probably being organised would be up there as a skill. You definitely have to kind of organise your day-to-day work and responsibilities at Capgemini. This is where kind of your line manager will come in and tell you, you need to dedicate this amount of time to your studies in your apprenticeship, and then you need to dedicate this amount of time to your responsibilities at work. So it is helpful to kind of break it down. I mean, we have a diary set out, so you can just, slot in some study time for your apprenticeship every now and then throughout your day. And I think it's really important to actually find time and prioritise speaking with both your line manager and your coach within your apprenticeship, getting support from either ends, making sure that the balance is pretty even and it works for you, because everyone has a different way of working, of course. So
I think the coaches are really good. The fact that you have that, not just your coach but your line manager as well, because you have both of them have understand you on two different levels. So you have two people supporting you. One from obviously your provider, and then the other from your day-to-day role. So it's great.
And I think to add to that is it's okay to feel really overwhelmed or scared. And I won't say that I didn't get through the degree with no tears. Like, there were times when I was really like, I don't know what I'm doing. And that's so normal in any role, but especially in your first job out of school, if that's the case, it's incredibly daunting at times. But that's what everyone's here for. The program team, your community, your project team, they are all there to support you and help you through any part of your life. If you've got stuff going on at home that's maybe then impacted your work, they're there for that as well. It's not just, oh, well, I'm only here to talk to you about your apprenticeship work. No, they're there for everything. And that's when that community comes back into it, is the support you have in that group. It's second to none. And you don't have this many people at Capgemini go through 5-year degrees and come out of it really happy and with great grades without having that support around them.
Yeah. Just a question for you guys, because we spoke about, managing your time, blocking out time for your apprenticeship. Is there a set amount of time that you need to spend on your apprenticeship throughout the week, or does it vary?
So there is the short answer. Yes, there is. The government guidelines, you're supposed to be spending 6 hours per week, averaged across the duration of your apprenticeship. So you can take that kind of some weeks more, some weeks less. At Capgemini at the minute, we've actually chosen to exceed that. So we're doing up to the 20%, which is the old way of working, which is actually more hours dedicated towards studying, because we really value the time that studying, kind of the impact that has on the apprenticeship. But we really have no hard and fast rule about how an apprentice takes that time. It's really down to them and their manager. Like Jasmine said, everyone works differently. So some people will want to take hours here and there. Other people will want to take a whole day. It is really kind of individual preference. But so to summarise, yes, there is a limit. There is an amount that you have to take, but it's really down to the apprentice how they do it.
Yeah, I think it's very personal, because I know I did like an hour maybe every day or 2 hours here and there, but I know some of my friends who maybe would just take a few hours on a Friday and then the Fridays were like dedicated apprenticeship work time.
Sure, because I couldn't think of anything worse personally than sitting there and doing a whole day's worth like dedicated to one
Yeah.
thing. I just couldn't concentrate after a few
Yeah.
hours. So for me, I prefer that more flexible way of working, but other people prefer to just take the day and switch off from everything else. So it really is down to how you work, and we're here to support that however you work.
Yeah.
We're not there to dictate,
Definitely not.
X number of people in my team do this, so you have to do this as well. It's really down to just how you work.
And I think it's down to the role as well, because, you know, some people will be out on client sites or, you know, have a really busy week, and you might not be able to fit that study into that week. But that's the beauty of it. It's, you know, it's across the duration of your apprenticeship. So, you know, one week you might be on holiday and you might not do, you know, no studying that week, and that's fine because you can catch up at a later stage. And again, it's about being flexible and, you know, what you set out in your plan and what works for you, but also for your role as well. So
Yeah. So coming back to you guys again, I keep switching, but in terms of, you know, some people think that when you're doing an apprenticeship, you kind of miss out on that social life. They think, oh, it's boring. And I know how I feel about it. I don't think it's boring. I don't think I'm missing out. But what do you think?
I think, again, it's personal preference. I couldn't have thought of anything worse than going to uni. That was just not what I wanted. Even with the, oh, you can join these socials and you can go out all the time. It didn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
But with apprenticeships, first and foremost, Capgemini has the most incredible apprenticeship community. There is hundreds of us, similar ages a lot of the time, going through those similar experiences that I spoke about, and you see them all the time. I have apprentices that live across the country, and I go and visit them quite a lot, so you have that social aspect. As well, you're not a student with no money. You have a salary. You can use that to go away, go on trips, go on holiday, and to me, that outweighs the odd night out on uni. But because there are so many apprentices, in particular at Capgemini, you have that community, you have that chance to go out or have a party or have a night out and have that social aspect within yourselves as well to organise, but also the incredible things that Capgemini organise within the community and the programme for you. There's Christmas parties, events throughout the year, summer parties, all different types of social things to get to know each other.
Yeah, I would say that as well. Capgemini organise like really, really good social events. So if you ever feel kind of lonely as an apprentice, you don't have to. I mean, there's all these things that you can attend, and kind of put yourself out there. And as you were saying before, like we've become really, really close over the past year. So you do actually build friends for life, and it's quite nice that the company can do that for you.
Yeah,
so.
and for people on our degree programme, which at the minute is the bulk of our apprentices, of any of our degree programmes, because we offer a few at the moment, but they actually get a glimpse of that uni experience that they would have got by going to uni. So we send them on campus days, and they get to stay overnight with each other. So even though they're not there full time, they still kind of get the best of both. They're earning, they're progressing, but they're also having fun at the same time. So I think it's a really good way to get a bit of everything, really.
On campus days are some of my favourite memories of all time. Like, I will leave it there. But they are honestly, and it's about that like-minded community, and everyone has been through the same. They are the same level of stress as you. You can support each other, and being there together and being able to have that social aspect on campus with them. Honestly, I look back on those days and I'm like, I wish I was back there again.
I love that. So can you give me, I might be putting you on the spot here, both of you, but can you give me like a highlight, like a very good memory that you keep going back to of your sort of apprenticeship? When was like a highlight?
Do you mean like within the day-to-day like work? Like?
Day-to-day, an event, something that maybe you accomplished?
Okay, I'd probably say, obviously as a girl, it's fun to like dress up and like, you know, go out with like your friends and whatever. So obviously we had a SOMO awards event last year where I got to go with my two apprentices, well, the two closest apprentices that are actually on my team, Biliana and Ella. And we all got to dress up and we got to go together and like, you know, with our little bags and heels. And Biliana was actually a finalist at the awards, so it's nice to, you know, actually be there with one of your colleagues and support them with their accomplishments, and yeah, it was a really, really good day.
This is how you know we're besties, because I was going to say that as well.
That's the first thing that came into my head.
But it was so surreal because I'd never been to like such a big event and
Yeah.
all these important people were there, and I got a bit of like,
We're important as well, you know. We were supporting Capgemini.
you know, when you're like one of the youngest in the room. And you're
Well,
like,
3
"Oh,
apprentices
gosh,
supporting
yes,
Capgemini.
exactly,
It was
and
a big role to fill.
and we
but
were sat on like a table with all these CEOs and chairmen
and it was a good
it was
networking
great.
opportunity
Yeah, it
as
was
well.
amazing,
You get really good networking opportunities here at Capgemini, I'll say.
I think it's very difficult to pick one, but it has to be the graduation. So when I had my graduation, I graduated with my 2 best friends, and it was the most emotional day. And obviously it is a day for like family and them being there, but graduating with the 2 of them after being like, we've stuck with each other for 5 years and we've done this, it was incredibly emotional. But as well, getting the opportunity to attend some more of our friends' graduation a year later, we all booked the day off and went along so that we could see them graduate again, which was again amazing, because we're so proud of each other, of what we've accomplished, and it can be a really difficult 5 years, and to be able to see each other walk across that stage, we were shouting their names, and it was honestly, it 100% has to be that moment when you know, oh my god, we actually did it.
Can we give our highlights?
Yeah, go on.
So I think I have 2, selfishly, because we get to see so much. I think it's really hard to just pick one thing. But I think my number one thing is inductions. Like we said earlier, it's so lovely to see everyone coming through the door on their first day and know that we're going to be there for them for their entire journey. And that's really special. And kind of over the summer, we got to do a lot of fun things with them. We got to take a couple of them out. We went on like an outward bounds day, because it was the summer. We can't do it when it's cold, because I'm not going in a lake in the winter. But in the summer, we got to take them all like paddleboarding and kayaking and playing games with them. And it was so fun to really have a day of just no work, just being real people, and it was just really lovely to kind
Connect with them.
really connect with them, like on a personal level. So that's my one. And then my second one, I'm going to steal Izzy's as well, because I actually get to go to graduation as well. So I get to watch all of our degree apprentices graduate across all of our 3 universities that we currently work with. So I'm really looking forward to this year's summer of kind of just touring around and watching them all. But it's such a proud moment of like watching them all. They get so dressed up and they look amazing, and they walk across, they get the certificate, and I'm filming the whole thing, and it's just my favourite part of the year. I absolutely adore it.
I feel very proud.
Yeah, it's just lovely. It's just such a warm, so proud of the moment, because I think I've been there, I've done my degree, I know how hard it was. So for them to have to do their degree and balance working full time, it's like, God, I know what you've been through, and I'm so pleased for you. It's just a real moment of pride. So that is definitely my highlight.
Love that. Mine's going to be induction also, just because I think we work so hard as a team to make everyone feel welcome. You know, some people, it's their first job that they've ever had, and walking into a very corporate environment can be quite scary. So I think, you know, showing them the way, but also watching them progress and develop and gain that confidence is for me is really rewarding, actually. So that would be my one. I do actually have 2, so I'm gonna go for the second as well.
We get 2.
So for me, community is everything, and I really love being a part of people's journey and supporting, you know, the apprentices throughout. So when I joined Capgemini, I really wanted to get involved with you know, people that were on programs that I was looking after, and try to really get involved with them, get to know them on a personal level, but also have that support, you know, have their back, and let them know that there's somebody else out there that wants them to go for it and achieve everything that they're there to do. So yeah, that's my second.
Love that. They got 2, guys.
Sorry.
So I think I'm really interested in hearing, because when you're a young student, you appreciate advice, and you appreciate when someone who's already been down that path that you're considering going down to turn around and tell you, consider this, think about that. So what is some maybe advice or things that students should think about if they're considering an apprenticeship?
Oh, can I jump in first? Because
Yes,
I'm going to steal the one that everyone does. So I'm sorry, everyone. But it sounds so cliche, but take every opportunity that's presented to you. It doesn't matter how small, or kind of, you know, if it's not quite your day job, but someone asks you to do something that's a bit outside of what you're doing, take them up on it, because you don't know what doors it's going to unlock for you in the future. And I think there's just something so powerful in just saying yes to something. Like, for example, it's not obviously part of the apprenticeship, but we're hosting like a National Apprenticeship Week event. I've never done any event planning in my life, but suddenly thought, hang on, there's an opportunity here for me to learn a new skill.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, I'll do it. I'll submit myself for that. And all of a sudden I've got all these brand new skills and kind of new people seeing me doing something, and that's just really unlocked things for me. So my advice for anybody, apprentice or otherwise, is take every opportunity, because there will be hundreds given to you and you just don't know where it will lead.
I think to expand on that as well, I have said yes to everything
Yes.
over the last 6-7
I remember
years.
this of you.
I've honestly said yes, and sometimes it's okay to be like, oh, maybe this one I don't add to, but you say yes to everything, and even if it seems really, really scary, even if it's, oh, I have to go and interview someone on the Capgemini board, or I've got to set up this meeting with someone who seems really big and scary, just say yes, because I've now got connections or a network that is absolutely brilliant and is going to support me for the rest of my career. And there's nothing like it. Those opportunities that you get given or asked to do, say yes. And I have been on quite a few Capgemini posters because I've said yes. I've done live interviews that have been streamed live on Facebook. I've done obviously the podcast. I did an article in the Financial Times a few years ago, and to say my name is in the Financial Times, what? I like that. Actually, that baffles me that that's even a thing. And just because, oh, that's really scary, I have to really be careful what I say in this, because it's, a journalist, a proper journalist, saying yes meant that, I got a really good positive article about Capgemini and apprenticeships and my career in a very, very well-known magazine or whatever it is. It was honestly incredible. So I couldn't agree with that more, and it's brought me brilliant success. So.
And I think also to underpin that, I think when someone offers you an opportunity, it's worth remembering that you haven't been asked for no reason.
Yeah.
You've been asked because you're good enough to do it. Mm-hmm. You've asked because someone recognises that you've got ability in this area. People were never going to set you up to fail. So even if you do have those opportunities where you think, oh, this is really scary and I'm not sure I'm going to be any good at it, you wouldn't have been asked if you couldn't do it. So just kind of believe in yourself and acknowledge that other people believe in you too, and it'll carry you all the way.
Yeah, I think my top tip is to be true to yourself, because I think it's so easy to follow the footsteps of other people or those in your family or your friends or your circle. If you want to do something, absolutely go for it, because there's nothing worse than later down the line thinking, I should have done this, or I wish I'd have done that. So yeah, that's my top tip, is just be true to yourself.
No regrets.
Yeah.
I've got more than one tip to give.
Okay.
It's be yourself. Don't be afraid to show your true colours to your team, to anybody. Let your true colours shine. My second tip would be, don't be afraid to ask questions. There's no such thing as the wrong question. You have your whole team, your fellow apprentices, colleagues, don't be afraid to ask questions. And my third tip would be, step out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Today I've stepped out of my comfort zone because I'm usually sitting behind the camera, and today I'm in front of the camera. So yeah, I think it's a really good opportunity, and you never know what you're good at until you actually do it. So I'd highly recommend just going for it. And yeah.
Jumping in with a final tip on that as well is, it's really easy if you're young in your career to send emails or messages with, hey, I'm so sorry to disturb you. If this isn't a problem at all, do you mind possibly? Be affirmative, know what you want, go and ask for it, or don't even ask for it, just say, I need this. And because people like the politeness, but also they just want to know what you want.
Yeah.
So be affirmative, know what you want, and be direct in what you ask for, because it will do wonders. I've had so many people email me or message me after an email to say, get rid of all of this and cut all of this out. You don't need it, just tell me what you want.
Yeah. Oh, that used to be me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you please, maybe, possibly? And I'm like,
if it's not
do
an
this.
inconvenience.
I need this.
Yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much to the guests for joining me, and thank you guys for listening and watching. And we hope it was all helpful. So see you next time.